What's good, everybody? In today's video, we're diving deep into something that's been bugging me lately, and honestly, I wasn't even sure if I should make this video at first, but after seeing the proof from the Moose Man of all the speculation that's been going around, I knew I had to address this head on. We're talking about King Von and whether he's somehow connected to the new Hero Musketeer that just dropped in Clash Royale. Now, before you click off thinking this is just another conspiracy theory video, hear me out completely. The evidence I'm about to show you is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about this new card release, and trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to see the connections that Supercell might not want you to notice. I've spent the last week going through every single detail, every animation frame, and even the release timing of this Hero Musketeer. What I discovered is absolutely mind-blowing, and honestly, it's got me shook. We're talking about similarities that go way beyond just coincidence. But first, let me break down exactly what we're dealing with here. The Hero Musketeer just became available in Clash Royale. I personally started noticing things that felt familiar. The way she moves, the confidence in her stance, even some of the voice lines. It's like Supercell took inspiration from somewhere very specific, and that somewhere might be connected to King Von himself. I know what you're thinking right now. How could a rapper who passed away possibly be connected to a mobile game character? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today, and I promise you, the connections run deeper than you might expect. Let me start with the most obvious similarity. The Hero Musketeer's attitude and presence on the battlefield is unlike any other card we've seen before. She carries herself with this unmatched confidence. The way she moves is kind of like how Von was described as, if she wanted you out of there, she'd get you out by herself. It immediately reminded longtime fans of King Von's energy. When you watch her animations, there's something about the way she commands respect that feels incredibly familiar, but it goes beyond just attitude. The timing of this release is suspicious as hell. Supercell could have dropped this hero at any point, but they chose now. They chose a moment when King Von's legacy is stronger than ever, when his music is still dominating charts, and when his influence on culture is undeniable. That timing feels intentional, and I don't think it's an accident. Now, let's talk about the actual abilities and characteristics of this Hero Musketeer. Her turret ability is absolutely devastating, just like how King Von's presence in any situation was commanding and powerful. When she drops that turret, it changes the entire dynamic of the battlefield. Everything shifts, opponents have to completely rethink their strategy, and suddenly she becomes the focal point of the entire match, gunning down everyone on sight. This reminds me so much of how King Von operated. When he walked into a room, when he stepped onto a track, when he engaged with any situation, everything changed. The energy shifted, people paid attention, and his presence alone could alter the entire vibe of whatever was happening. The Hero Musketeer's defensive capabilities are insane too. She can hold down an entire lane by herself, protecting what matters most while dealing serious damage to anyone who tries to challenge her territory. Sound familiar? That's exactly the kind of loyalty and protection that King Von was known for. He held it down for his people, defended his block, and never backed down from protecting what was his. But here's where it gets really interesting. The visual design choices that Supercell made for this hero are telling a story that goes beyond just creating another card. The color scheme, the overall aesthetic, even the way her gear is styled, it all feels like a tribute to street culture and authenticity that King Von represented. Pure gold is what she is. Something that would get snatched easily, but her aura stops all intentions. I've been analyzing every frame of her attack animations, and there's something about the precision and calculated nature of her movements that screams strategic thinking. King Von wasn't just raw talent, he was incredibly smart about how he approached his craft, how he built his career, and how he navigated the industry. The Hero Musketeer shows that same kind of intelligent approach to combat. When she uses her ability, there's this moment of focus, this brief pause before she unleashes devastating power. That's exactly how King Von approached his music and other activities unsafe for me to mention, the eye of Robbie always watching. He would take a moment, assess the beat, feel the energy, and then deliver bars that hit with incredible impact. The Hero Musketeer has that same calculated delivery system. The response to this hero has been overwhelming too. Players are gravitating toward her in a way that feels different from other card releases. She's not just popular because she's overpowered, though she definitely is strong. People are connecting with her on a deeper level, and I think that's because she represents something more than just another game mechanic. There's an authenticity to her character that resonates with players who understand real, recognize real. When you see her in action, you're not just watching a digital animation. You're seeing someone who commands respect, who stands for something, and who isn't afraid to handle business when necessary like Uncle Fleece. But that's a story for another time. The way other cards react to her presence is interesting too. Enemy troops seem to hesitate, almost like they recognize they're dealing with someone special. That's not typical AI behavior in Clash Royale. But with the Hero Musketeer, there's this extra layer of intimidation factor that affects how battles play out. The sound design around her abilities is crisp and impactful, hitting with the kind of precision that makes you pay attention. Every sound effect feels intentional and powerful, just like how every word in King Von's music carried weight and meaning. What's really got me convinced about this connection is how the Hero Musketeer fits into the current meta of the game. She's not just another card to collect, she's changing how people approach strategy and gameplay. That's the mark of something truly influential, something that shifts culture rather than than just following trends. The competitive scene has already started adapting their entire playstyles around her presence. Top players are rebuilding decks from the ground up just to accommodate her abilities, which tells you everything you need to know about her impact. When a single card release forces the entire meta to shift, you know you're dealing with something special. I've been watching gameplay footage from the best players in the world, and they're all saying the same thing. This Hero Musketeer doesn't just fit into existing strategies, she creates entirely new possibilities. The way she controls space on the battlefield is revolutionary, and that level of game-changing influence is exactly what King Von brought to hip-hop. Her synergy with other cards is incredible too. She makes average troops perform at elite levels just by being present. That support system, that ability to elevate everyone around her, that's leadership qualities right there. King Von had that same effect on his crew, bringing out the best in everyone he worked with. The tactical depth she adds to matches is unmatched. Every placement becomes crucial. Every timing window matters more, and suddenly players are thinking 3 moves ahead instead of just reacting. That's the kind of strategic mindset that separates legends from everyone else, and King Von operated with that same level of calculated thinking. What's really blowing my mind is how her abilities scale throughout the match as her ability becomes more affordable and viable. Early game, she's solid but not overwhelming. Mid game, she starts showing her true potential, but late game, when everything's on the line, that's when she becomes absolutely unstoppable. That progression mirrors exactly how King Von's career developed, building momentum until he reached that untouchable level. The way she handles pressure situations is phenomenal too. When the match gets intense, when multiple threats are coming from different angles, she doesn't crack under pressure. Instead, she gets more focused, more deadly, more precise with her responses. That clutch mentality is something you can't teach. It's something you either have or you don't. I've been testing her in different deck combinations, and she adapts to any playstyle while maintaining her core identity. Whether you're running aggressive rush decks or defensive control builds, she finds a way to make her presence felt without losing what makes her special. That versatility while staying true to yourself is rare in any context. The psychological effect she has on opponents is real too. Players are making different decisions when they see her on the field, playing more cautiously, second guessing their usual strategies. That intimidation factor changes the entire dynamic of matches before the first card is even played. Her ability to turn defensive situations into offensive opportunities is masterful. She can absorb pressure, redirect threats, and then immediately counter with devastating force. That transition from defense to offense, that ability to flip the script when people least expect it, that's pure street wisdom applied to digital warfare. The timing of her ability cooldowns is perfectly calibrated too. Just when opponents think they've figured out her patterns, just when they think they can predict her next move, she's ready to surprise them again. That unpredictability keeps everyone on their toes and prevents anyone from getting too comfortable. What's really impressive is how she maintains effectiveness across different trophy levels. From mid-ladder chaos to top competitive play, she performs consistently while adapting to the skill level of both her user and opponents. That broad appeal combined with elite performance is the mark of something truly special. The community content creators are all gravitating toward her too. Every major Clash Royale YouTuber has multiple videos featuring her, and the view counts are through the roof. People want to see her in action, they want to understand her mechanics, and they want to learn how to master her potential. Her learning curve is interesting because she's accessible enough for casual players to enjoy, but has enough depth to keep hardcore players engaged for months. That balance between approachability and complexity is incredibly difficult to achieve, but when done right, it creates lasting impact. The way she interacts with different arena environments shows attention to detail that goes beyond typical card design. Looking at the broader picture, this Hero Musketeer represents a shift in how Supercell approaches character development. They're not just creating game mechanics anymore, they're crafting personalities that resonate with players on emotional levels. That connection between digital content and real culture is something King Von mastered in his own medium. The influence she's having on newer players is remarkable too. People who never cared about strategy games are downloading Clash Royale specifically to experience what everyone's talking about. That crossover appeal, that ability to bring new audiences into an established space, that's the kind of cultural impact that defines legendary status. So look, whether you believe the King Von connection is real or just an incredible coincidence, one thing's undeniable. This Hero Musketeer has completely changed the game in ways nobody saw coming. The evidence speaks for itself, from her commanding presence to the cultural impact she's having on the entire community. Maybe Supercell planned this tribute, maybe they didn't. But what they've created is something that goes way beyond just another card release. Let me know in the comments what you think about these connections, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into gaming culture. Until next time, keep grinding.